Imagine you just bought all your Christmas presents, spent all your money, and then your boss calls you in and lets you know that you are being let go. Okay, let's see how people handle it.
In 2018, I was let go from my job 1 week before Christmas. And although I didn't like that job at the time, and I definitely did not like being a part of such a toxic environment, I was devastated. Part of me was really heartbroken because I felt like a failure. I went to grad school, I was the first in my family to go to college, and I felt like I should have had numerous opportunities available to me immediately upon graduation. And that was a huge, miss on my part because I was naive to think that going to grad school alone was going to warrant me all of these job offers of multiple six figures. That's just not what my life actually looked like upon graduating. And there I was, 6 months after graduating, being let go of my job that I didn't even like, crying and sobbing because things weren't going my way. And what I learned through all of this process is that a job at the end of the day is just a job. We cannot give it more power than it deserves, and we cannot let our jobs consume our entire lives. What happens a lot of times when we just attach our identity to our jobs is that if we lose it or if something doesn't go our way, we're heartbroken. We suffer from career heartbreak. And yes, that is very much a thing. It's something that I lived through myself. So my best advice to you is, regardless of where you work, regardless of how many years of experience you have or what you do, find something that brings you joy outside of work. And remember that you are not your job. I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. You're not your job. You have so much more to offer. And that's really, really important as you continue to rise, not only in your career, but in your personal life as well. In 2018, I was let go.
Hello. Oh my gosh, do you hear that? Oh, come on up. Come on up, sweetheart. She had so much good advice there. It's so true. You cannot give these companies more than they give you. Like, match their energy pretty much. And honestly, I've learned, don't give it your all unless it's your dream job and you're really enjoying it. Don't put everything into a job because they will drop you like that, even if you do everything right. And she's right about that. Even if you hate the job, it still hurts to be let go because it just feels like you did something wrong, even though sometimes you maybe just don't get along with them well, Look at this, I can't even. Oh my gosh. Oh, she's so good. Me new. Okay, let's keep going. Ma'am, you can't do that to the microphone. Thank you very much. Do not. Okay, she's moving the mic. Sorry, guys.
Get ready with me while I tell you how I got fired 3 weeks before Christmas. So just a little bit of context, about a year ago, I was feeling really burnt out from my job, and so I started looking pretty casually for something new, and found a position that seemed like a really good opportunity. I started this new position in March of 2022, and it was very different from what I had been doing at my last job. Previously, I was in pharmaceutical research, and this was a position for a public policy firm. I expressed some concern that I hadn't worked in public policy before, but they told me that kind of the way they like to approach things is to hire people that are smart and teach the skill set, even if they don't come in with a ton of experience. So from the get-go, it does seem that there's a really steep learning curve, and I keep expecting to get trained, but I'm honestly not receiving a lot of training. They're just throwing me in the deep end with clients, and I'm really trying to learn on the go. And to be clear, I do ask for training, and they keep saying that they're going to give it to me, and then just kind of nothing happens. So this was quite stressful, but I told myself that it's just a steep learning curve. You're going to catch on. Everything will be great. In July, I have a basic performance review with my boss, and she says that there are definitely things I still need to learn, but she feels like I'm doing really well and she's excited about the work I'm doing in the company. As time goes on though, it feels like there are things that my boss is getting mad at me about that I just like had received no instruction on, had no idea I was supposed to complete, and she's like quite frustrated with me. So I go and talk to one of my coworkers and ask him kind of for some tips, and he says that's just kind of how she operates. It's not you. And so I figure things are okay. Flash forward to the beginning of December, and I have not received any sort of performance review or like notice that I need to improve in my work since that July meeting. And I have a scheduled weekly one-on-one with my boss. I get into work a tiny bit late, like maybe 10 minutes, and rush to get everything ready for that meeting. I go into my boss's office and we're just chatting. It's chill. Everything seems very normal. I pull out my agenda just like I normally do, and she says, actually, before you get started, we need to have a hard talk. Okay, sorry, like for part 2.
Okay, let me find part 2. Part 2, I found it.
This is part 2 of the story of how I got fired 3 weeks before Christmas. So my boss had said that we need to have a hard conversation, and my first thought is that she's going to be mad at me for being late because, like I said, I had been late that morning, and while I wasn't late all the time, I wasn't 100% on time, so I was really gearing up for that to be the conversation. Instead, she says, I think that this company and this position aren't the right fit for you. I am honestly floored when she says that. Like I said, I had not received any sort of performance review or any feedback that I needed to change anything since July, and this is December. She tells me that she thinks I'm really smart and talented. She just doesn't think it's the right fit, and it's not a skill set issue. It's just not the right fit. I don't know what that means. She even goes as far as to say that like she'd be happy to help me make other connections so that I can find a new position, and says that she really wishes me the best, and that they'll pay me through December, which, you know, that was actually quite nice. But I was like, I really would appreciate like some more feedback about why you're firing me. I just feel quite confused by this. And she's like, yeah, it's hard. You're organized, but almost like too organized for us. We need a little bit more chaos, and I don't know. So she also tells me that I can kind of choose how I transition out of the position. So I tell her, yeah, I'm gonna go home right now. I'll come back tomorrow for all my things, because I knew that the next day the secretary was gonna be the only one in the office, so that felt kind of like the least awkward situation to me. And yeah, I did not leave any notes for my projects because I was mad. Probably the funniest thing about this though is that for the whole week prior to getting fired, I had literally been thinking like, oh my gosh, she has been so much happier with my work lately. We're making progress. No, she just stopped caring about what I was doing because she knew she was gonna fire me. Also funny that literally 2 days before this happened, I was talking to my therapist about how anxious and stressed I was about work, and she said the worst they can do is fire you. Yeah, that is the worst, and that's what they did. Anyway, all this to say that getting fired 3 weeks before Christmas sucks, but you know, I'm living my best unemployed life, so. This is part 2 of...
That's really good. She got paid through December. And it's so annoying how they just do that, eh? They'll just, like, no warning let you go. Like, all of a sudden, and you thought you were doing a great job, or at least an okay job. And they just let you go. They don't care. They really don't care. And it's really weird for her to say, oh, yeah, you're smart enough. It's just not the right fit. Like, okay, so what is it? You just don't like her personality, I guess? Ugh. Okay, let's look at the comments here. They always say, I'd be happy to help you make connections, BS. Yeah, like, oh, we're so happy to give you a reference, though. Like, okay, thanks. Someone said she's able to use both hands to apply makeup. That's really good. I didn't even notice that. Very observant. Okay, I think I can maybe fit in one more in this video. Let's see. I know, and somebody here is being so good, kitty. Oh, are you done? She's done. Okay, you can go. You're free. See you later.
So yesterday, 2 weeks before Christmas, my husband was fired from his job. I'm telling you this for this reason. If you have vacation time, take it. If you have paid time off, take it. If your company expects you to work or answer calls when you're not on the clock, don't answer. Work less and live more. Because at the end of the day, you are just a number to them. They don't care about you. They don't care about your family. They don't care what you have to take care of. They care about their bottom line. We get one life. Let's not waste it working for companies that don't give a shit about us. Go to work, do your job, take your vacation, enjoy your life as much as possible, and don't worry about the place that you are replaceable at.
Okay, Krista, you are so right. Like, honestly, like, F any job, like, just do it to get by, get your money, and get out, honestly. But about that vacation, like, I personally prefer to, like, stock up my vacation till I quit, and then they have to pay you out all those days in cash, rather than you just, like, taking the vacation. You get more money. At least that's how it is in Canada, I don't know. Like, you get your PTO when you leave. Like, you get it as money. But, yeah. Anyways, this really sucks. I've been fired before the holidays too. It sucks. But, you know, you kind of unfortunately have to just expect it. Like, at any company you work at any time, they can do budget cuts or whatever, and you're done. So don't take these companies too seriously. Put yourself first and have a Merry Christmas. Bye.